Hello YouTube and welcome to Turmoil in the Toybox. I'm your host Aaron Hauser, and today we're going to be doing a review on the Mezco Cinema of Fear Series 1 complete set of figures. This includes Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th Part 4, Freddy Krueger from Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, and Choptop from Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. It's a great set of figures, comes with a lot of accessories. One of the things that I've always loved about the Cinema of Fear line, they definitely come with a lot of really cool little portions to use on display with the figures, which is nice. Kind of wish NECA would do that with some of their future releases, but seeing as how they've been cutting corners by taking out accessories, I doubt that'll ever happen. So, anyways, back to this awesome set. We'll start things off with Freddy Krueger here. Now, these figures are a lot like the McFarlane movie Maniacs figures in the idea that they are made to be in one position. They have articulation in the knees, very stiff, I might add, rotation in the hips, and then there's some rotation at the waist here. His jacket kind of inhibits that a little. He's got rotation in the shoulders, some flexibility, rotation in the elbows, flexes in and out. He's got a lot of articulation in the wrist. It rotates as well as flexes up and down. And then he's got a ball joint for the neck, which is nice. And then same articulation on the other arm. Very cool figure. A lot of really great detail to him. You can notice he's got a lot of extra blood splatter there. One of the really cool accessories he comes with a regular hand, but this is the one you want to use. He comes with this other hand with the mother's head, where he's holding her head down by the scalp there. So a lot of really cool detail there. Very grisly. Great detail on the head here. I don't know if it's necessarily better than some of the NECA ones, but it's definitely close. I think this one looks a bit more stylized, but overall very, very well done. The suit looks great. It's kind of this flexible plastic on it. The claw itself, it's a little bent, as with most of the Freddy figures. But it's not horrible. It's got some kind of blood on the tips there, which looks cool. But yeah, very cool figure. It's kind of meant to be in this sort of position, kind of like in the film, like stance-wise. As far as balance, it's pretty well balanced. You kind of have to mess with the hip articulation to get him to stand up perfectly. But it looks really nice. As far as accessories go, this one comes with this alternate hand holding the head. Comes with a different Freddy with more of a sneer instead of this kind of smirk he's got on this one. Oh, that's another thing I forgot to show. Here, just a second. One of the coolest things about this Freddy figure is that it actually is sort of a two-pack. It comes with this figure with all these bits to it, and then it also comes with a skeleton Freddy. Now this one it's very limited in what it can do. We'll scoot him over for a second, but it comes with I want to say it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different chunks here, and then it does come with the stand. You have to have the stand on the figure to display it because it will fall over. As far as articulation goes, it rotates at the hips very slightly. It's got a ball joint kind of in the upper spine there. Very tight rotation in the shoulders there. And then on the wrist here, it's got... Well, I thought it had some movement. Yeah, there you go. It's on a ball joint here, but it's very tight, so you gotta be careful with that. And then the head is also on a ball joint. But it was very cool that Mezco included this because, you know, I doubt that this would be something that they would release as a whole figure, but as part of a set here, It actually works really well, and it's a very cool addition to any Freddy Krueger collection. Like I said, this one, it does come with a stand. The stand pops in on these little pegs here. And once you get it in place, he stands up kind of like this. So sometimes you kind of have to mess around with his limited articulation to get him to stand up straight, but overall, not a bad addition. Probably the coolest accessory of any of the Cinema of Fear figures that I've seen. So, that is Freddy from Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3. Next we'll do Leatherface here. This was definitely one of my favorite figures of this line. Came with a lot of accessories. Came with the normal Leatherface face. That's a weird way of putting it. Came with the regular kind of yellow apron, and then it came with a couple other things. I want to say that it came with some what was it? It came with some other tools of some sort. I have them kind of packed away right now, so I couldn't really pull them all out for the review, which I apologize for, but what I thought was cool about this was, unlike some of the other Leatherfaces, they just kind of come with the same classic Leatherface look, and it was nice that this one actually came with some different little outfit bits, so you can give it a different look to it, which I like because, you know, it kind of rounds out your Leatherface collection a bit nicer. So, as far as articulation goes, he's got articulation in the hips there, in the knees. It's a little tight, and like I said with this one, it has to be in this kind of squatted stance, or else he will fall over. His legs don't stand up perfectly straight, so you kind of have to have him at this angle. Like the Freddy, he has articulation in the shoulders. At this upper arm area, he rotates. He has flexibility in the elbows, and then the wrists and hands have the same articulation where they can bend up and down and then rotate 360, which is nice for getting the chainsaw in place. You don't have to worry about snapping the wrists off or anything like that. It actually is able to grasp the chainsaw quite nicely. So the head is also on a ball joint. The head pops off very easily. That was kind of my only complaint for this. He's got, it's not one ball joint attached to this. It's actually kind of a socket with a double ball joint here, and then you attach the other end to the head. Now, I like having this mask on him just because it's different from a lot of the other Leatherface figures, but I will note that it's very hard to kind of get him to have his head straight because the lower end of the mask actually drops down a bit, so it's kind of hard to get him to... I mean, if you have him at an angle like this, it looks awesome, and that's probably how you'd end up displaying him anyways. But yeah, overall, really cool figure. Like I said, accessories, he comes with a couple different tools, kind of like the Movie Maniacs version. The separate apron and the separate flesh mask. So yeah, very cool figure as well. While we're doing Texas Chainsaw Massacre, we'll bring out Choptop here, played by Bill Moseley. Great character. Wasn't a huge fan of the second movie, but it was pretty funny. It was worth it just to see. Oh, what was his name? Dennis Hopper, just running around screaming his head off the entire film. It was just hysterical. I don't think it was supposed to be that funny, but it was way funnier, I think, than it was supposed to be. But this is a really cool figure as well. Came with a lot of accessories. Also came with this separate kind of bendy figure, kind of like the Freddy came with the skeleton Freddy. This one comes with his little dead friend here that he kind of pals around with in the second half of the film underground. It's kind of this bendable plastic. It doesn't have like wires in the legs at all, and I don't think it has any sort of wires in the arm at all, so you can't really pose it. It's kind of made to just either lean up against something or kind of over his shoulder like in the movie. So for display, it actually looks pretty cool. Now for Choptop himself, he has got a good amount of articulation. Nothing in the ankles. Actually, majority of these don't have any sort of ankle articulation. He does have articulation in the knees, very tight like the other ones. Rotation in the hips, pivots of the torso. Same wrist articulation, elbow, and same rotation for the shoulders. Head is also on a ball joint. He did come with a separate head, the Choptop head that you see him kind of without the wig. He's got the metal plate in his head. I think he has that for the majority of the, like 2/3 of the film. But I like this one just because of the sunglasses and the wig and just the look on his face is pretty funny. As far as accessories go, other than the bendable guy here, he comes with a little boombox. Comes with a separate hand that's just kind of open. He comes with another hand that's holding a lighter. And then he comes with the this one, which I like, the hand holding the bloody wire hanger that he's always scratching his head with. I thought that was kind of funny. Really good detail on this one. It's still a little stylized looking, like some of the other Mezco figures, but I think it's like the only Choptop figure I think that's available, but, you know, for what it is, it's pretty good. So yeah, pretty cool figure. Not a whole lot in the way of accessories, but for what it does come with, I think it works pretty well. Set him back here. Fuck it. Whatever. Alright. And this is the one that everybody seems to be hunting for. This is Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th Part 4. This one comes with a lot of different accessories as well. He comes with an alternate head, which I don't have displayed here, sadly. The alternate head is unmasked, so you can kind of see him with some battle damage look there. He comes with, I want to say, an alternate weapon. He comes with the machete, of course, and he comes with an alternate hand, I want to say. Articulation is all the same on this figure. Very, very well done. I think this is definitely the one to beat for NECA, because just the way it looks with the blood and everything, it's very cool, very well done. And I mean, it's a little harder to find these days, but if you are able to find this one on eBay or something, I would definitely go for it. It's got a lot of really cool accessories. I would definitely suggest getting it at least for the accessories. This one actually comes with a Pamela Voorhees tombstone, which is kind of cool. The Jason, the Mezco Cinema Fear Jason from Part 6 actually comes with a Jason Voorhees tombstone. So if you, excuse me, if you actually have the NECA, what was it? The NECA Friday the 13th box set, with the Pamela Voorhees, and then you have the Pamela Voorhees tombstone and stuff. It's kind of a cool compilation for display. So, but yeah, overall very cool figure. This one has a bit more articulation for the head. Can definitely isn't restricted as much in movement. I don't believe this. Let me see, because you can pop off the head here. Oh, yeah. Oh, maybe it does come off. Oh, this one does come off. Okay. Let me see. Stand by. Okay, there you go. Here he is unmasked. And the alternate head looks the exact same, except for he's got a huge gash in the side there, which is pretty cool. And he does come with, he comes with a meat cleaver, excuse me, was the other weapon he came with. And you can actually stick that in the alternate head, which is pretty cool. But yeah. Pretty awesome. The mask should fit on here, hopefully a little bit better. Let's see. Yeah, the mask fits on kind of tight, so. But yeah, it slips on nicely, so. That was one of my big complaints with some of the, like the movie Maniacs, Jason Voorhees, was that has a bit of trouble holding the mask on. What was it? The one that I have was from Jason Goes to Hell, and the mask just pops off whenever. So I ended up having to super glue that one on, which kind of sucked, but you know, that's the way I was displaying it anyway, so it wasn't that big of a deal. But yeah, very cool figure. All of these figures are definitely worth getting. I was lucky enough to find this complete set on eBay for 160 bucks, with free shipping, which was kind of cool. So, if you can find them in bulk, kind of like as a complete set, that's probably the best way to go to get the most for your money. This figure alone, I've seen go for around $300. The Jason one. The Freddy one can go for a bit more too, but most of the time this Jason is the hardest to find. So, you know, 160 for the whole set isn't really bad, all things considered. So, but that's about it. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments below, and check out some of my other reviews. As always, thanks for watching.